intended for a blur, I would have drawn these by hand, so the style difference between mine and the image trace wouldn't be there. Selecting the image trace, I first lower the opacity to 40% and then apply a Gaussian blur on it, setting the radius to 4.1 and then lowering the opacity further still since I wanted it to be lighter. There we are, all the elements in the illustration are present and we can now apply the final touches. To create an obvious difference between the foreground and background element which holds the two back trees in Archer, I create a layer between those elements and draw out a wave-like shape with the pencil tool. The fill is set at a random color, which I then change to the orange gradient I used during the highlight process. Just like we did here, I apply a Gaussian blur on it, setting the radius relatively high so the blur fades quite prominently at the edges. I set the blending mode on color burn and lower the opacity to 38%. It should be low enough so the blurred edge at the top fades in well with the image trace background. I create a new layer between, but this time include the third tree in the background and the female character that is hanging upside down. In this new layer, I create a rectangle which I fill with a gradient. Instead of using the orange one, I decide to go with a completely different color to create an obvious difference between the foreground and background. I could make my own gradient, but Illustrator has a lot of nice ones in the library, so I go to pick one from there. Go into the swatches panel and click on the top right arrow. In the drop-down menu, go to Open Swatch Library and then choose Gradients in the drop-down menu that appears there. I choose the Color Harmonies gradient set since I want this to affect the atmosphere of the illustration, and the Color Harmony set is perfect for this. The blending mode on the gradient is set at soft light with the opacity set at 60%. I go through the set of gradients until I find one I like. I choose a blue and green one to help make the green elements in the illustration stand out more, and then lower the opacity